Okay, so VidCon recaps.
Arya and I went to VidCon on behalf of Tenkiv.
We had a great time. This was kind of a crash course for us. No pun intended, Hank Green.
Overall, it was a really interesting and eye-opening event.
Obviously, we're pretty new to being YouTubers. I think at the time of this recording, we have like 126 subscribers. Kind of feels like I'm just talking to myself, but hopefully that'll change soon.
The point of it was to do workshops and to meet other people in the industry and kind of see how we can learn and grow our own personal channel.
On day one, we kind of didn't really know what to do. It was a little overwhelming. There was way more people there than we expected, and the itinerary has so much stuff going on concurrently that it's really hard to choose what to go to.
In terms of VidCon and its experiences, I think I learned a lot.
Choosing the panels we went to and the different events was kind of just a shot in the dark. And on day one, honestly, there were a lot of pretty crappy panels that we ended up going to. Some of them we didn't really learn very much at all. Some of them were just not even relevant to what we want to do. Some of them were just flat out bad.
There's thousands of people recording themselves, live streaming, blogging, all types of crazy content. And the space is really vast in terms of a market.
By the end of day one, and especially on day 2 and 3, we had a much better idea of the kind of stuff that is more relevant to us. And that was specifically all of the kind of educators, the YouTube educators panels and the YouTube educators events. Those were definitely on par with the kind of stuff that we definitely wanted to learn more about.
We've kind of allowed ourselves to narrow down what we are actually looking for and what are we trying to do with this channel. You know, originally when we started, we were just going to be, a vlog about a startup where we, show what we do day to day. But as we, kind of grow the channel, we realized earlier on that there was a lot of issues with people not understanding that, climate change is a real thing. I think with our channel, the goal is to kind of bring more educational content and get people out of their chairs, try to show that there are people working towards solving these major issues and, social problems. And I heard the term slacktivism over that weekend, and that's probably the best term ever.
One of the things I for sure figured out is that a lot of the educational stuff that we do, there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. So at times it'd be a good idea to try and collaborate with other YouTubers that are already doing education, at least in and around the kind of topics that we want to do education on. So if we have an episode where we want to talk about thermodynamics, then it makes sense to connect with a YouTuber that's already doing kind of science education on the level of what we want to talk about, and see if we can do a collaboration.
We realized that, when we were trying to build, we need to animate all this content, or what is climate change, or blah, 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 blah. We're trying to make all this great content for the channel when there are already people on YouTube that are experts. Instead of us trying to make all this content and you taking our word for it that we actually know what the hell we're talking about, we're gonna start doing collabs with people.
In addition to the panels and all of that stuff we went to, we did meet a lot of just cool people in general. Of course, a lot of the educators like Dr. Joe Hansen, lots of people from PBS Digital Studios. They were all amazing. We got some of those contacts. Hopefully we'll be able to work with some of them in the future. Hank Green was there, of course. He's the one who discovered VidCon. Some of the YouTubers we met had really interesting ideas for YouTube channels that they haven't even started yet or are just getting off the ground, kind of like us. One example is I met someone who is doing a YouTube channel where she interviews people in specific fields in STEM to try and give people an idea of what it's like to work in those fields. So I definitely see some potential collaboration with something like that in the future.
We went to a bunch of different workshops, bunch of different panels, and networking events at VidCon, and there was a lot of really interesting stuff. Ari and I kind of split up because there was so much content to go through, and it was kind of good because he got a really good perspective and I got a great perspective, and we kind of are melding our knowledge together and trying to make the best channel.
Everything from people that are doing educational work on YouTube, all the way to lifestyle and travel vloggers, and stuff in between. One of the guys we met, Matt Joe's, he was cool, and I've been watching his vlogs. I didn't know about him before, but I've been watching his vlogs since VidCon because he does great work. He's a very good photographer, and that's kind of what his vlog is about. It's a travel lifestyle vlog that he mixes in photography education on. That kind of stuff was really encouraging because it's along the lines of what we want to do, obviously with different content.
YouTube creators are using their voice to really connect and get people to, start going towards things that they care about.
All in all, it was a really good trip. It was definitely worth it. We definitely will be going again next year.
I hate this. I'm just gonna delete this.
Fingers